Okay. So my first question is why have moon missions stopped and why are they started again? And
Okay.
what were the initial goals and what are they now?
Mhm. Well, the moon mission started because we were curious about the moon. We see it every day, or not every day. 2 days in a month we don't see it, and we were curious. We had pictures and we had telescopic images, but we really wanted to see the real thing. We wanted to be there. We wanted to see it. We wanted to know, confirm all our hypotheses of what the moon was. Okay, so that was what was curiosity was one thing, and that was an adventure. And so NASA went to the moon first, and then the Russian space flight pushed us in America to go to the moon. So we were going one more above the space flight. So we went to the moon. And what we found initially was we were surprised that it was more or less what we thought it was. It was, we found the rocks, we found 100, 200 kilograms of rocks we brought back, we analyzed it. We understood from the moon, from that point of the moon, but maximum we were able to be on the moon in those days was 3 days because we didn't have the technology to stay long, and the habitat and the food and how to conduct ourselves in space. We didn't have a very good idea. So we went through maximum possible in moon, and then we came back. And then we decided, then nobody went there because we knew that if we want to stay more than 3 days, we have to have more technology, food and clothing and sleeping, everything, being human beings on the moon, right? So then we had the shuttle and the space station, where we found out many things, how to live for a long time in the space and what to eat and how to do the food and how to do exercise and how to keep healthy. And so we spent about between 670 and 85, 86, we spent that time trying to understand what we need to do to be permanent in the moon. Even now, we have people staying for 1 year on the space station, and they understand what happens when they stay in space. And then we think we are now ready to go back to the moon, because now we want to use the moon as a base station to go to other planets, to go to Mars, to go to Saturn, and the moons of Europa, and other moons of the Saturn and Jupiter, and understand our solar system. It's a natural curiosity, right? And that is kind of where we are. That is why we are. If you look at the timeline, we went to the moon for about approximately 8 years, off and on. And maximum we stayed was 3 days. We brought back 200 kilograms of rocks and all kinds of minerals. We understood that moon was formed by a lot of meteorite collisions. We were able to correlate a big crater in Mexico that showed that there was a big meteorite that came and killed the dinosaurs and started the mammals. There was a hypothesis before all these. We were able to connect many dots when we went to the moon initially, just by looking at the moon samples and so on. But then, if you want to stay more than 3 days, it was difficult. And you cannot do anything in 3 days because everything is very slow. Now you got to be prepared. We were not really ready to live in the moon. So we had to come back, and we have to conquer the space that was close to us, 200, 400 kilometers, and live there and understand what it is. And we spent that time up to maybe next time we go to the moon is 2024. And this time we are actually going to the moon to have a base. We will live there, and we will generate or make things there. So we can go from there, we can go to other planets.
Also, what are the main discoveries made during the first missions to the moon, and what to expect now?
Well, like I said, the first mission was just to bring the samples back, just to understand moon better. And I think we did. We did samples back, and there's a lot of analysis done. And now the next mission is to make moon a home, to a base camp for us. So we will be living on the moon, working on the moon. We should be able to go back and forth from the moon to the earth within 3 days, 4 days. And we will have something like a gas station between earth and the moon. And on the moon, we will be manufacturing houses to live there, and other rockets, if possible, to go to other planets. Because the gravity is less, so you need less power to go from the moon to other places. So that is the intention, is to use moon as a base.
Oh.
And the main technology we are developing is propulsion, which is the most difficult thing to leave the gravity of the earth. We are also developing technologies to stay alive in an environment that doesn't have any oxygen, ways to create oxygen, ways to create water, recycle water, and to be healthy in that environment. That is the biggest technology that we are trying to do. Biggest breakthrough in technology is that we want to stay in the moon and still be humans, right?
Yeah.
So that is a big challenge, and that is what this whole Artemis program is all about: is being on the moon, living there, woman, man, everybody living there. You know, we have a lot of information how men behave in space, how women behave in space, because there's astronauts, women and men. And we use all that information to make things that are comfortable for us on the moon. The highest technology comes from there, other than, there's rockets, always there's better rockets and cleaner rockets and so on. But the human life technology is sustaining technology is the most important to be on the moon. We should be able to grow vegetables. We should be able to eat. We should be able to, instead of always microwave food and so on. So that's the future. In the next 10 years, we will do that.
Can you tell me something about your studies?
I am a satellite engineer. I design communication satellites and design, integrate, test, and participate in launch, and we use it. And that is what I do. I'm mainly in, if your Zoom probably is coming through a satellite, So that is my interest is all in satellite design and anything that is related to space. I don't think I have an opportunity to go to space, but you never know. You will have an opportunity to go to space. Okay. So you should keep it up.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. If you need anything else, let me know, okay?